Marie Antoinette 2006, starring Kirsten Dunst and directed by Sofia Coppola. When I first saw this film, I was 13 and I remember begging for me and my friends to watch a different movie because I thought it would be a boring historical drama that I would lose interest in instantly. But of course, the opposite happened. The film tells the story of Marie Antoinette through a young, feminine, and more modern light. Now, don't get me wrong, if there's one thing I hate in historical movies is when they try to modernize the movie to appeal to the newer audience. But, to me, Marie Antoinette was the perfect medium of both real history and Coppola's own take on the story, and how she wishes to portray it as the director. So, what makes Marie Antoinette a good historical film despite its historical inaccuracies? Sofia Coppola is one of my favorite directors and is definitely my favorite female director. Coppola has such a knack for the telling and retelling of stories through her own lens, putting her own light, feminine, real, and raw spin on things. Looking at her other movies like Lost in Translation, The Virgin Suicides, and The Bling Ring, you can really see Coppola's almost auteur-like directorial vision shining through, and I feel Marie Antoinette is Coppola at her best. With the bright colors, interesting cinematography, and engaging timeless story, Coppola captures the life of Marie Antoinette and portrays it in a relatable narrative that every girl at some point can relate to. Historical films and television have always been moderately popular, but I feel like in recent years has grabbed more attention with movies and TV shows like Babylon, Catherine Called Birdie, and Amsterdam, just to name a few. But these films and TV shows are different as historical films, with them at points pretty blatantly not trying to be historically accurate, with their use of modern dialogue and then not following the exact story from history. But how does Marie Antoinette and these other films be filled with historical inaccuracy and still be great films? Well, in my opinion, nothing in film should be just black and white. Film should be artistically fluid and follow whatever artistic path the director wants it to. Of course, sticking to the source material is needed in historical films, but directors having their own voice in a retelling of stories is how we got such beautiful pieces of media like Marie Antoinette. Who would have thought that a story of a young queen in the 1700s would be so relatable to audiences now? Storytelling takes on all forms through film, and I think Sofia Coppola has perfectly captured the female experience through a retelling of Marie Antoinette's story. In the future, I hope to see more films take on these stories from history in a new and interesting light. Until then, I'll just have to keep watching Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette.